Welcome to another exciting edition of $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour salute. Salute. Yeah, I had a little too many there to start.
Yeah, half of a shot is too many.
So today we had Tanduay rum. What'd you think of that one?
It looked like it was orange juice. It tasted like it was gasoline.
So what more can you ask for out of a rum?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be sponsoring the show sometime soon.
Yeah. It was free. I got my money's worth.
And there you go. They're actually the world's biggest rum distributor. I just looked it up, and they I believe they did something with the Milwaukee Bucks. Wow. Maybe they named the stadium or something like that.
I am a rum lover, so
you didn't like that one, so we'll do that one
We'll
again.
have to mix it with a little Coke or Diet Coke. Or
there you go. And shout out to a good friend of the channel, Primetime Treasure Hunter. And I actually bought new cartridges. Or you can't see it, but I bought new cartridges.
It's about time.
Read. Yeah.
He was doing some of my labels. I had to redo them. It was like invisible ink.
He's got a live show after ours. Check him out today. It's Storage Auction Pirate. And nice. I see we got some people there in the house.
Yep. Looks like first out the box, Amen to Jesus. How's it going? Benjamin's in the house. Ron. Don is early. Nice. And Michelle's here as well.
Oh, thank you very much to everybody. Last week was definitely was a fun show. It really was a good show. Yeah. I don't know if anybody out there watches or looks at our Instagram post that we put up all the time. Put one up today, and I called us the most interactive reselling live show, and I think that probably is true. So
yeah, I would say so. I should watch it sometime.
Our show or the Instagram?
It's both.
Hey, how's your Instagram going anyway?
It is going. Yeah,
it's no change, no decline from last week.
There's more of a decline in my adult listings right now.
I know you're jumping the gun over. What are you, Don? You're ruining the show. Stuff all over me. Jeez, Louise. So thanks to everyone. We have a lot of fun. We learn from you, and we hope you learn from us, even if it's what not to do. Certainly in a live show, you learn what not to do. And then I know last week we talked a little bit about Google Lens. I actually downloaded it.
Oh, nice.
And I did a little bit of research into it. And it's the Google version of what Random Neighborhood Kid had on his phone. Okay. Where you can point it at a leaf and it'll tell you what kind of tree it is and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So a lot of people use it out there when they're outsourcing. They'll shine it as something they don't know what it is and it'll tell them what it is. So cool. I'm sure I'll use it at some point, but at least now it's on the phone, which is step one.
No charge. Is it free?
It's a free one. Yep.
Can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that at all. And then it's time for the shameless plug of the week, as we do every week. Like to thank everybody who uses the affiliate links. We got the eBay and the Amazon affiliate links. They're available in every one of our videos. You go down beneath where we write up about what the video is about, and you can click on it. You don't necessarily have to buy what we are peddling. It's just a way to access the site. And guess what happened this past week?
I can only imagine.
We got our first payout from the eBay affiliate, and I couldn't afford any giant checks because I couldn't carry them around with the giant.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
They're really heavy, and I don't have a giant checkbook.
Like Happy Gilmore.
But there you are. If you want to read everybody the dollar amount, that's half the dollar amount.
$917. $9.17.
So we earned $18 thanks to all of you, and we definitely do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And that's the end of the shameless plug.
My gas tank is actually empty, so I'm going to get a few gallons on the way home.
That'll get you to the gas station. Yeah, a couple more people looks like have shown up there.
Eric's in the house. What's going on? Yep, look what the cat dragged in. Exactly. Enough about Paper Goy.
And Michelle.
I did say Michelle. Yeah, earlier on. Come on.
Oh,
we'll give her another shout out. Michelle, how's it going?
And actually, thanks to Michelle, she commented on a bunch of videos, and I was going to mention a little bit later, old videos, which is really cool.
Like Three Stooges and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, she loves those. Absolutely love them. The Two Stooges, anyway.
Exactly.
But it's good that people are discovering the things that we did back, October 2020 and July of 2020 and all that.
We were newbies.
We really were. We still are, actually. So on to the weekly update, buys and sales. What's going on with your any buys? And how are your sales?
Sales are actually very good lately. I think everyone's jumping the gun and getting nervous with the adult closing up, so they're just buying in bulk.
So let me jump ahead a little bit to something else I wanted to talk about. So you have no adult on eBay at this point?
Nope, I do have adult on eBay at this point. Yes, I do.
Oh, how is it working?
So as of yesterday, which was the 15th, we thought everything was going to be we really didn't know what to think. So we thought everything was going to be shut down. It wasn't shut down. Everything was going full steam, like nothing changed.
Mhm.
And then today I started getting some emails saying they're ending stuff. So we did call up,
Okay.
and the person on the phone knew about the adult ending, but didn't know how to explain it to me what was happening at this point.
The logistics.
So
right?
I think I had a good idea, and I said, hey, this is what's happening? Because that sounds good to me. So basically, anything that was listed 30, you cannot list anything moving forward.
Right.
So anything in your store has its 30-day lifespan on it. So anything that was listed, say, May 16th, would be ending today. May 17th will be ending tomorrow, and so forth until you get to July 15th, and then it's all going to be gone pretty much. So today they knocked out probably 3,000 listings of my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but sales have been really. Yesterday we had, I think, almost 600 sales, or 600 orders total. We had one guy purchase 200 movies, a couple hundred movies here and there, magazines. So a pretty crazy day.
Wow. And how about any buys?
So part 2 of the Palmyra deal was better than part 1. Part 1 was phenomenal, and they had 1,000 DVD box sets sealed. They had Star Wars comics. They had these rare Disney figurines, all kinds of stuff that they told me if they didn't sell it to me, they'd have to throw it out in the next week into their dumpster. So good thing I showed up with my truck. It was 90% empty, and we filled it up to the brim. So yeah, very good stuff. Proud and happy of that.
Wow. Any other buys coming along or anything else going on?
Still working on the local adult mag deal. That they're a little slow, trying to in the negotiations, I guess. But we're going to work it out, and it'll get done at some point.
Yep. And then I know that you had a quick meeting today with your accountant and your lawyer. Everything's going forward and all the business.
Yes. Yep. We are putting everything in place. Multiple LLCs, protecting my companies and so forth. Family. So, yep. A lot of progress was done today. Nice.
I actually sent away for my DBA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. DBA Papergoy will soon be mine.
Ooh.
Accept no imitations.
Can't believe it's still available.
pretty hot there. But yeah, and actually, when did I become Papergoy? 2012, 2010?
It's got to be around. I was going to say
something like that.
At least 10 years.
Yeah. And I actually was going to send away for my DBA back then, and I never got around to it. Well, 2 reasons. One reason was this was, well, obviously pre-COVID, pre all that sort of thing. And you had to actually go downtown and do it. And by the time you drive downtown, you park. It's just not convenient generally.
Yeah, right.
So I never found the time to do it. That was part 1. But part 2, we're going back to 2000, whatever the heck it was, 2008, 2010, whatever it was. It cost me $34 for the DBA. Well, it was the same thing back then. And actually $34 that was tight. It was really tight back then.
Yeah.
On various things. And I would sit there and I'd look at it and I said, do I really need to spend the $34 on the DBA? Right. What am I going to do with the DBA? And then I finally, when we went to your accountant and we were going to the LLC and all that, I basically said, look, I got to get this DBA taken care of, get it all done.
Sure.
Just, because I'm trying to build the brand Papergoy, and all we need is me to go do it. And then somebody else in upstate New York or New York State being, no, I'm Papergoy. And I went, what?
I should have bought it and then just gave it to you as a gift or something.
That would have been really nice. Yeah. This looks like a couple of people, Michelle and Don, are a couple comments.
Don is thanking you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Did you know that?
Oh yeah. Yep. No problem whatsoever.
So you're the one that bought the 1 million postcards. Congratulations.
To anybody who isn't aware, we do have a video up where we were talking about a potential 1 million postcard deal. My ducks still aren't in a row on that one over there, so I haven't done anything on it yet. But as the gentleman who has them for sale said, they're not going anywhere. So, and he said, if they are going somewhere, you can probably put together another lot at some point. So it's
now you know who you can flip them to.
There you go.
Right, Don?
So last week, I had the hey, Amazon seller 90. We're always happy. We're always happy.
Yeah, I love losing 3,000 listings a day. You can't wait to see me in another 30 days.
You got $9.17. What more do you want?
Oh, that is true.
Jeez, look on the bright side. Look on the bright side of life. I was trying to sing it like Monty Python. That's not going to work. But a couple of things. Guess what I bought last week for resale?
I have no idea.
I bought a goose egg. I spent nothing.
Oh,
it was probably the first week. I cannot remember. Probably the last time I spent nothing on product for resale would have been 4 or 5 years ago. And some, terrible winter week when there was no flea market and we were all snowed in, and I didn't go on eBay to find anything to buy.
Right.
So it was the first time that I have spent zero.
Wow.
We did not do a video on Monday with a sourcing video because I didn't buy anything. I would be really bored. You just see me just sitting there staring. So I went into the garage and found a few things out there. So I guess I did end up sourcing the garage. I've come to the realization that if I don't buy something this week and that continues for about the next 450 weeks, I'm going to start running into trouble.
You're going to be loaded.
Well, except then I'll go over to your warehouse and start buying stuff off you.
Yeah.
So
I just take it. I don't even know what's missing.
It's a win-win for you and me on that one over there. But I actually did go into the garage and start taking a look around, and I've got a lot of stuff out in the garage, but a lot of it is junk. And it's a lot of stuff. It's a little better than throw out, but not really worth it. It's Amazon stuff is what it is in my world. So what I really need to do is I need to get some banker boxes and take a day over the summer and just start grabbing boxes and list it on Amazon and put it away. List it on Amazon and put it away.
I know what's going on this week. This is the first annual Men's Cave Spring Cleaning Week.
Oh, I can go over there and pick stuff out of the dumpster.
At the warehouse, yes. We're going to be throwing out collectibles that I have no room for. We also will have the dumpster. I'm getting another pod, thanks to my friend who's a regional manager there. So that'll be my third pod, free of charge. Well, at least for now, and I got to throw them a bonus or something. But we're going to reorganize things, and one of the empty pods we're going to fill up with everything that we're not going to list ever that has value. So once everything goes in there, we're going to probably try and sell it all as one,
sell the pod.
Yeah. So the contents of the pod, say there's 3,000 pieces for $3,000, something like that, just to move it out, but there'll be some good stuff in there. So anyone locally that wants to take a look, I have the dumpster from the 18th to the 28th, and I have the pod for as long as I want. So we got a crew that can work on that starting Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I should come on by, and I'm sure I could get free stuff for my labor.
Yeah. I might be throwing out boxes and boxes of airplane books.
Hey, wait, I've got some airplane books over there. I'm sure they're not the same ones.
You better come get them. All right. Oh, Don, shipping those to Canada. Yeah, that would be. Well, do what I did. Just run a tractor trailer. You got to pay a driver and a customs charge to get the million postcards in and out of Canada.
I'll just use stamps.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Anybody know where I can get a bulk lot of 1 million Canadian stamps? Hey, Jem, how you doing? That works. I'm not watching the comments. Neither am I. I'm half blind.
It's true.
Well, and then oh boy. Well,
nice. Hey, come on down.
Well, and then one other quick thing. One other little reason why I didn't go to the flea market on Sunday. It's the local flea market, which is protected from the elements. So I do go down there when it rains. I actually got my second COVID shot on Sunday. And as you know, I had COVID before, and I had a reaction to the first shot. So I got the second shot. I got it on Saturday, actually. And I said, I'm going to be fine. I got a reaction to the first shot, which is what people who have COVID had. You're going to be fine. I ended up getting feverish, clammy, sick, exhausted, slept like 17 hours. Can I take a moment?
Sure.
We are not a controversial show, generally speaking. We try not to be controversial. And I'm going to say something here, and I don't mean to be controversial. COVID sucks. Having had reactions to 2 shots, COVID sucks.
Yeah, and so does Friends of COVID. Friends of COVID suck.
They do too. Anything involved with COVID sucks. The positive is that 14 days after your second vaccination, you're fully vaccinated. I should come on here and we should burn my mask is what we should do. Hopefully we don't need booster shots. Let's put it that way. So, but that was the other reason why I just was in no shape at all to go out to the flea market or anything all like that. So I said, I got to get better. I got to improve. Thoughts on Sports Illustrated magazine subscriptions for 70s, 80s, 90s singles or bulk listing?
Well, I'd always pull out the best of the best that are going to go for good money, sell them first. If there are no mailing labels, I would sell them all individually because you do get a premium for them. People are doing signings. People like to get the ones with no labels signed. And then if you're going to bulk them out, all Michael Jordan covers, all Sports Illustrated swimsuits, all Tiger Woods,
NCAA, all.
I'd go that route then. Lastly.
Well, especially if you've got 70s, 80s, and 90s, you could go through and 9 different Florida Gator covers.
Right. Tom Brady, anything like that.
Anything at all that you can find a common theme
Sure.
on. And then all the stuff that's left over, you just kind of throw together in one lot. It's actually a
Right.
really good idea.
Yeah.
You get more than you would if you broke it up into years, and it's not as much work as if you broke them up individually.
Yeah.
Nice.
For sure.
Look at that. That's why I learned stuff here too. Then the other thing over here wanted to go into, I've been listing some postcards over on Vivs-Views.
Yep.
So I went and I got the store, and I got the 250 listing store.
Okay.
And it's because I'm cheap. I'm listing 5 items a day. And I sat there and I ran the math, and I said, I can get through 1 month at that store, and then I can always upgrade to the next size store.
Right.
Why pay? And I don't remember the cost offhand, say $8 versus $25. Why pay an additional $17 I don't have to pay?
Right.
So I'll save that for 1 month, and then I'll upgrade it. Once I get to 250 listings, I'll upgrade it. There's a slight problem with that plan. Well, not with that plan. There's a slight problem. Do you know what it is? And you don't remember this, and I don't remember this because this was so long ago.
If it was yesterday, I probably wouldn't remember, but refresh my memory.
I'm bumping up against 200 listings. I'm only allowed to have 200 listings because I'm a newer seller.
Oh, geez.
And thank goodness I didn't jump into it. And it made me think, I guess once a month they review the number of listings you have up, and they'll change the number of listings potentially.
Right.
Which is great, or you could get them changed midstream if you're a real business. In other words, if I formed an LLC, well, I'm not going to spend $1,200 on an LLC to be able to list a few more postcards.
Exactly.
But it makes me wonder, what if I had these grand dreams, and I sat there and I ran the numbers, and I said, look, I'm retired today. I know I can list this number of postcards.
Right.
And I jumped on there, and I jumped right up to an anchor store. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, 200 and I'm done, but I'm paying all this money for an anchor store.
Right.
Makes you wonder if they would make an exception at that point or not. So what I've done actually on both Vivs-Views and on $1,000,000 because that's getting closer to its limit as well, is I'm dropping back to just listing 1 a day just to keep the flow going. And then near the end of the month, I'll do a few more, and I want to see if they up the limits on them.
Gotcha.
And then Etsy as well. I've not sold anything yet, but I'm still listing a few things on Etsy. A thing a day, every day.
I'm still blocked. I'm blocked on Etsy still.
Cleaning out my outbuilding and reorganizing my operations. I am more a hard goods person, but I have a fairly large National Geographic collection with maps. What is the best way to sell those?
Very carefully.
A lot of what age?
The maps definitely help regardless, right?
Yeah.
Any age, yeah.
And even one of those things, a lot of people will end up tossing, if they're recent vintage, people will end up tossing the magazines, believe it or not, but pull the maps out, because if you do grab the maps, at least you'll be able to do something or other with those. Lot them all together. People do buy the maps by themselves.
Exactly. Oh man, what aren't we going to throw out? Magazines, record albums, probably some sports cards, anything, the single common stuff that there's so much stuff taking up space. We're never going to get to it. So we'll salvage as much as we can. And once the pod's full of, collectibles we're going to sell as a whole, we'll probably start dumping more stuff out. So it's a 20-yard dumpster. So I'm going to go to my house, my shop, the warehouse, and anything I want to throw, I'm going to take advantage of it for the 10 years.
How's your liability insurance?
Pretty good.
Because when you're throwing this stuff out, you got to be dodging all the people scurrying around in the dumpster.
Hopefully it's one of those 12-foot tall ones.
So you just toss this stuff over the top.
Exactly.
Incoming!
Fibs. He does lie a lot. So.
Vivs. VIVS. Dash VIEWS. Vivs-Views. Vivs. That's not nice. Moving 2 weeks. Best motivation to get some of this out of here. Been bulk selling anything big or heavy. Started 99-cent auctions on books today. Before I moved, I wish I had thought of doing that. Yeah. It's a lot easier to move money than it is to move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Move books, because trust me, I had to borrow your truck a few times to move some books.
Yeah, I remember that in those days. Yeah.
Yeah, that was not nice. Oh, I did actually. I'm on hip.
And you hurt your hip, didn't you, a couple weeks ago?
That was my knee. That was my knee.
Oh, sorry. All right.
So I did sell a comic book on hip.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't get paid for a comic book on hip.
Why not?
The buyer never paid.
Oh.
I contacted him. He never responded. So then I had to go search through their help to finally figure out how to put in for my fees back. And I ended up putting my fees back, and I had to relist it.
Right.
And the funny thing about it, anybody who has that happen to them, when your item sells on HIP, it shows up as ended in eBay. So I saved it there in the ended so I could relist it just in case the guy didn't pay.
Yeah.
But when it shows up as ended, it has a bracket, SOLD, end bracket, and then the word. So it says sold within brackets and then the word. So I went to relist. Don't you know I wasn't paying attention? That sold shows up on the relist. So when I went to relist it on eBay, it was TV Funnies comic. It said sold TV Funnies comic. So I had to revise it to take the sold out of it.
Jeez.
So save yourself a little bit of time when you are revising it or relisting it. Take the word sold out of there. You probably don't want that in there.
Well, speaking of sold, I'm spending $40 a month now to eliminate the sold items on dirty magazines.
Nice.
So it cleans up the site. So if you go on there now, you won't see any of the older listings that sold out. So it's nice and clean now. And sometimes people got confused and thought they were available and they weren't. So but I guess Shopify has an app for $40 a month, unlimited. You know, you eliminate all the sold items showing up.
Yeah, sometime in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do a video, and this is going to be news to you because you're like, what? Wait, we're going to do a video? Since when? No, we're going to do a video about because I'm gonna end up doing a Shopify. So I've started doing a little bit of research. I know you use Sellbrite. I know friend of the channel, Auction Professor, and another friend of the channel use Ink Frog. I used to use Octiva for photo hosting way back when, and they have a plan. And so I'm starting to take a look at the prices and some of the stuff.
Right.
And if you've got any inventory at all, it's expensive.
Sure.
It's expensive as anything to bring stuff over. It's insane. Some of these places are $200 a month.
Well, you know what I'm paying? I'm paying almost $500 a month on Sellbrite.
To Sellbrite.
Yeah. But then you still got the Shopify fees and this and that. So I mean, it's probably after it's all said and done, it could be close to $1,000 a month. But what are you going to do? I need it, you know.
Right. You need it, but why is Shopify that much or Sellbrite that much? Is it because of the number of items?
Yeah, for that volume. Yeah.
And you tried to get a volume pricing, and they gave you a volume pricing.
Yeah, that's what it is at that level. That's what it is at. Yeah. So I think that's unlimited, whatever it is at that point. 500,000 items or to 1 million, something like that. So I'm good for a while.
Right, but geez, that's a lot of money every single month.
Yeah. So yes, Ron, it'll be at my warehouse. If you want to come down after hours when we're done, we won't be in your way, you won't be in our way. It'll probably be starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday through the weekend.
Or you could throw them on payroll. And,
That is true. Sure. Yeah, we can give you a tour. Yeah, for free of charge. We're gonna look around and see if anyone's interested in it. The flea markets, that would be great for the contents of the pod. We'll throw it up on Craigslist and maybe even Facebook, see how it goes. So I don't do much of that, but a couple of my employees do. So we'll work on that for sure.
And following your passion and money will come. Yep. I snipe on eBay, which can be a bit tricky if you're not on the item you're watching and hunting for an eBay doing the comp. Oh yeah, no, it's and that's funny. I know a lot of people do snipe, and I'm assuming a different friend of the channel I know used to pay for a sniping service.
Yeah.
And they would come in and they would snipe right at the end. Basically, I don't have time for all that. So what I end up doing is I just put the price I'm willing to pay for it.
Right.
And I'm the, when you see 6 days left on an auction and there's a bid on it, that's me. And if I'm willing to pay $45 for it and it's at $12 right now, you see a $45 bid on it and that's just it. And if you bid 46, you win it from me. I don't really care.
That's it. A lot of people are like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely the way that I end up doing stuff.
Whoa. Amazon seller.
Ooh.
$2,000 a month. Well, you got to have a lot of listings, I'm assuming, to justify and sales to justify that. So
3 listings.
Yeah. Well, but they're all $1 million listings.
Oh, there you go. Wow. $2,000 channel advisor. Reach out to me if you could. What is it? themilliondollarpeddlers@gmail.com. And just let me know what you think of channel advisor. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I've got existing inventory on eBay and I've got existing inventory on Amazon, and I'm trying to bring it to a Shopify store. That's basically what I wanted to do. And then, of course, I wanted to sync. So if something sells in one spot, it's no longer on the others because I don't want to manually do that. Yeah. So I don't know if Channel Advisor would be good for that or not, and what the prices are on it. So $2,000 is a bit of money, though, to say the least. Hey, next week is going to be a really, really fun week. Not that they all are not fun, but next week's going to be a really, really fun week. We're going to do a little bit of a preview today of what we're going to be doing next week. About 90% of our show next week is going to be our typical, interaction, our typical nonsense, and a good topic. We've got one of two topics we're going to work with next week. It's going to be a lot of fun just normally.
Yeah.
But I think we mentioned this at one point over here. It did come in. Let's see if that'll show up in there. There we go. So why don't you tell everybody what I'm holding up?
That is a hit parade from David Adams Card World from 1952 Topps graded edition. They basically bought a graded set, 406 cards, and put 2 per box. It's all a crapshoot. So generally, I don't gamble very often, or open cards very often. But I was impulse buying, and I decided to purchase this and see what happens. I don't have the Mano rookie, so there's a 1 in 203 shot that I can get the Mano rookie in there.
So. Yeah, and it's numbered out of 203.
2 cards per box.
2 cards per box, and so there are 2 graded cards in here. It is factory sealed. David Adams, put this all together. And we do not know the grade of the card. We just know that it's in there and it's graded.
Yeah.
What did this box cost you?
With shipping and tax, it was $750.
So $750. I'm holding in my hand right now. It's a little better than the $9.17 I gave you. But hey, what are you gonna do?
It could be worth 100, or it could be worth 30,000. So
there are 2 graded cards in here. So we're gonna open these up next week, right on the air. We have no idea what's in there. What else could you get other than the mantle?
Geez, it's a loaded set. Jackie Robinson, the Andy Pafko card. That's the number one. Yeah. Rizzuto, Duke Snyder, pretty much all those legends from the
Hoyt Wilhelm rookie card.
There you go. Yeah.
A lot of Hall of Famers, and then the high numbers. Even if you pull a high number, you're going to get, depending on the grade, but that's got to be worth a couple $100 by itself. But obviously, you're shooting for one of the big stars. Billy Martin, I think, is in there.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of really, really good players are available. So if you know anybody out there that does like baseball and box opening, and again, you can see it is factory sealed there on the back, just to show you. If you know anybody that's into baseball, old baseball, it's going to be a lot of fun next week opening this up on air. And we're either going to have a very, very happy Mr. Magazine, or we may do a shot right in the middle. Either way, we'll do a shot right in the middle of the happy hour.
It's better than going to a casino, dropping $700 on the table in 2 minutes and leaving with nothing. At least this way I can leave with a couple cards. Maybe I can gift them to you, or
who knows? We'll see what they are.
Charge you $750 before you open it.
So I just want to let you know what we're doing next week. It's a no vehicle hustling on a bike, so I'm building my strategy around that. And since I know my category fairly well, it's worth my time. Yep. No, and again, you got to do what you got to do as far as obtaining inventory. How many times have you? You've driven to people's places because they can't bring it in. You've done, all sorts of things to help people out in order to.
For sure. And I'm much more aggressive now because I used to be lax and I'd lose out on deals. So now if someone calls and I can be there in 10 minutes or the next day or whatever, I want to be the first one there, so for sure.
Open it now. We got to do a little bit of a tease here. So it's going to be next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm leaving it with Papergoy for the week because I think, I might get bored and want to open it at midnight or something. So,
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it out in the garage, and then we can find it on air next week.
Oh, nice.
So next week on our 7-hour show, what if I hit it somewhere over at the warehouse next week and somebody dumpster dives and finds it?
Yeah, my goodness. Jeez.
But so that should be a lot of fun next week. So do tell other people about that. Should be a lot of fun. So one of the things that I was going to ask you about, we always do a topic and our subtopic, and the subtopic this week is keeping track of inventory, but I don't mean physically keeping track of it because we've done videos about that, the various ways, numbering boxes and all that sort of stuff, and following it through. But as far as keeping track of what you're spending on an item and knowing if deals are good or not, and I have talked to various people that some people use track everything all the way through as best as they possibly can. Some people don't track at all. I believe you're not tracking it
No, not too much. Yeah. How about as far as pricing it too when they come in with the item? You talking about?
Well,
that
no,
too?
I'm talking about, I come in and I sell you 500 magazines.
Right.
How do you keep track of those 500 magazines when they sell and know that you bought them from me, et cetera,
Oh, geez,
versus
yeah. Well,
any other 500 magazines that you happen
yeah,
to
I mean,
sell?
obviously, I log them into a ledger, the person's name, price, and what they have, and so forth. But
Right. That way you've got
yeah,
proof of
right.
purchase and all that sort of
But
thing. But as far as
yeah, it depends on what it is. If it's something, say I got Time magazines, 400 of them for $40. Well, it's a steal, but do I want my employees to list them now? And we got a ton on there, so they're going to go into a death pile at the warehouse or my shop. I might pick out if Springsteen's in there or something, the best of the best.
So then when you end up listing those 3 years from now, you don't remember that you gave me $40 for them. They're just there.
Yeah, probably wouldn't. Yeah, maybe not. There's so many deals, especially in magazines as well. So, but if something's great and it's going to stand out, I'll remember. Hey, I paid $500 for that Star Wars figure. It's $1,000 now or whatever. That stuff I remember.
Because it's kind of interesting talking to various people and the way that they end up tracking the inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do a lot less than a lot of people do as far as that goes, but I do more than you do.
Right.
Pretty much the way that I do it, and the reason why I do it is I use my custom SKU to note where I got it from. But by where, it's more a general location. In other words, I picked it up at a flea market. I picked it up at the Madison Bachville that I went to. I picked it up here or there. I note that kind of thing. And the main reason that I do that is because I like to, it makes me feel good tracking it that I say, hey, I spent $800 at the flea market last year and I've made $1,400 back on it.
Right.
And I've still got, and I bought 500 items out there and I've only sold 100 items for $1,400. Hey, and then I can do a quick math and say, hey, I've spent $1.50 an item. Typically when I go to the flea market, I sell them for $15 each typically. So I use it more for informational purposes than actually tracking the item. I know some people go all the way down into like what collection they bought them from, what estate sale they bought them from, et cetera, et cetera. I don't do any of that because I guess my way of looking at it is most of those things are one-offs. In other words, I buy something really good at an estate sale. Great. That estate sale is never going to happen again.
Right.
So, and I kind of know in my head which estate sale companies tend to be high priced, which ones tend to do deals on a second day, which ones tend to. So I kind of do a hybrid mix on it, but that's the reason why. And the one thing which I know I've said in videos before that it helps me with is I always thought library sales were very, very lucrative. Now they very well still could be, but 2 years ago, which was the last time they had any library sales around here, I barely bought anything and I did okay, but I didn't do great on them. But church sales I did very well on. So now I'm definitely looking for church sales. And if I had an option between going to a big church with a big church sale or a library with a library sale, years ago, I would have taken the library sale. Obviously, I would go to both if I could, but if I had to choose one or the other, all others, both are 12 miles away, this, that. I would choose the church sale at this point because I find that I get better deals at the church sales, which it kind of opened my eyes there. Another thing I'm noticing is I'm making a lot more money off of estate sales this year. Why do you think that is? I'm paying more money for things at estate sales, but I'm making a lot more money. Any idea at all why it is?
Definitely smarter. You're smarter now buying, and also you're putting a little more time into your listing. So if you had a brochure a few years ago, you probably just paid $1, sell it for 10. Now you're describing it better, more pictures to zoom in. You might get 20.
Well, that, and another reason is, what my day job was before. I was driving around a lot, and it was a situation that if I was driving around and there was an estate sale, near where I was working for my day job, lunch hour, I'll just jump in there.
Away,
Well, what ends up happening when you're there? You're there anyway.
You get sucked into
you buy mediocre stuff. You're like, I know I can sell that. I'm here anyway. It's only $2, and you end up buying.
You don't want to leave empty-handed.
You're there anyway. So you end up buying 2 or 3 items that you you'll do okay on, but they'll take a long time to sell. Your life's no better or worse for having purchased it. I'm there, I buy it. Well, now what I end up doing is I'm only going to what appear to be really good estate sales. because I'm going online and I'm checking at the beginning of every week and I'm looking at what estate sales there are. And if they look like they've got really good things, then I'm actually putting in for half a day at work on Fridays and I'm going to it.
Sure.
So I'm really targeting the estate sales now, as opposed to just willy-nilly, we'll just go to an estate sale because we're near it type deal. Of course I still would. I mean, obviously if I'm at a lunch hour from my day job and I know there's an estate sale 2 blocks away, well, I'm going to go to it no matter what, because it's 2 blocks away and I'm on lunch. Who cares? But otherwise, I'm definitely doing a lot less shopping, but I'm doing better shopping and smarter shopping and targeted shopping. And I know Auction Professor talks all the time about being very targeted. I guess I'm kind of moving toward that without even trying to move toward it. Driving around, I haven't hit it. There weren't any last year, but I don't know the last time I hit it. Well, that's not true. I did hit one garage sale this year.
Okay.
I spent nothing. Do you know why I hit the garage sale?
It was around here.
It was literally 2 doors down for me.
There you go.
I was going out to the car and I said, they're having a garage sale over there. And I walked over there. Nice. So I did hit a garage sale this year.
You never know. All right.
Oh, I sell from her too. No way I can itemize the bulk purchases. I just list where and when and from whom. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to on that stuff. And a lot of the times your situation will be the same. You buy from Joe Smith. Joe Smith, who inherited his father's estate,
right?
It's going to probably be the only time you deal with Joe Smith on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to follow that stuff through.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes you get word of mouth. They tell a friend, and then their friend, something happens, they lose a family member, and then they come talk to me. But rare occasion.
I just want to make sure I'm making a decent profit. So if I go thrifting or buying just a handful of things, I'll put the CPU in my spreadsheet. Yeah, and that's part of it too. One of the things too that it can do, doing it the way that I do it, doing it the way that a lot of people here seem to do it, is it can spur you to list stuff, because I go and I buy, a lot of things, and all of a sudden I notice that, hey, wait a minute, I'm losing money on, it's February 3rd.
Yeah.
And I've spent $400 at estate sales and I made $175 back. But the reason why I've only made $175 back is I haven't listed very much that I've gotten from the estate sales.
Right.
It spurs you internally to say, wait, I'm losing money on estate sales.
Yeah.
Let me list that stuff over there. And then you list enough stuff till you're profitable again.
Yeah.
So it kind of is almost a carrot. You can use it as a carrot there to say, I've got to increase my sales from estate sales. So it's you can kind of trick yourself using things like that.
Sure. I like to hide my stuff though. If I don't see it for years, I'm looking, I'm like, it's going to force me to, I'm like, oh geez, I spent $5,000 on that pallet sitting in the corner, but I don't want to list it right now. So bury it and I'll forget about it.
Sure. Sales are the funnest for sure. And they're finally coming back here in SoCal.
Nice.
Yeah. No, they are the best, and you never know what's going to show up.
Yeah.
Same here. I learned so much over last year. So I buy much smarter. Estate sales are my favorite. Yeah, no, they're great. And I was going to say I've never stood in line. That's not true. I have stood in line, but that was more one of those, I go on the second day and it's like, geez, I drove all the way out here and there's still a line. I guess I'm here anyway. I might as well stay, especially during the COVID situation. I did stay in line a couple of times because I had a day off of work. I remember I went down to 1. I had the day off of work. It opened at 9. I went down at 11:30 and there was still a line because they were only allowing like 8 people in the house. And I said,
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up standing in line for that one. But otherwise, I'm not one of those, get there at 5:00 in the morning and camp out kind of deal. Because my other way of looking at that too is, okay, I see I see a $5,000 comic book in their listing.
Right.
A, what do they have it priced at? B, where is it at in the house?
Yeah.
And just my luck, I'd get in the house and I'd turn left and then some schmo would turn right and find it.
Yeah, true. Just hoping he's got 5 G's on him. That's all.
Well, hopefully in my brain, it's $10. Right. They don't possibly know what it's worth. I include vendor date, first listed, price paid, and location of item in our SKUs. Really helps when listing, pricing, and pulling. Yeah, no, I definitely can. I mean, the more information you have, I guess the way to look at that kind of thing is I capture a lot of information now that I wish I had captured years ago. I can't go back in time and capture it, obviously.
Right.
Now I'm using it. One thing that I do now that I started about 3.5 years ago, I keep track of the number of items that I sell on each venue by week. And I have a spreadsheet. And so then what I can do is I can look and say, okay, this week I sold, 112 items total, 84 on eBay. How was last year, same week? How was the year before, same week? Right. And I can track across and I can see trends that way. Well, I've only got that going back 3 years.
Okay.
I wish I had that going back 12 years, because then you could definitely see trends on that, and you take it and you graph it out on it, graph it all out and you say, hey, every year, right at this time, it drops off and all that kind of thing.
That'd be nice. Yeah, I definitely don't. If I did that, you'd be,
I'd be looking at those numbers every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I learned from Washington Professor, I listen enough to get my money back right away. The rest builds up for when I feel like it. Yeah, no, that definitely is a way to do it. The only caveat with that, which both of us can tell you, is you wind up with a warehouse or garage full of stuff that gets built up. That's a little bit of a problem.
If you can take 5 items out of 100 and get your money back, then your 95 items are sitting till the next deal.
Yeah. I think the more knowledge you gain, the easier to spend bigger amounts of money on items. Yep, no doubt whatsoever about that. That's absolutely true. And that actually leads me into a little side note I was going to make before we got into our main topic. I don't know how many of you watched Primetime last week, I believe it was, when he mentioned right near the end of his show that he was going to be meeting up with me at Madison Bachville, which is a large antique show flea market. It actually is where the sourcing video that I had up, where I bought the Dell comic books at. That was at a June show at Madison Bachville, which I was saying is about 20% the size of the regular show. I'm going to be meeting up with Primetime out there. So that should be a lot of fun. We got to talk about what we're going to do with the channels and all that kind of stuff. But that's going to be a lot of fun when we're out there. Just wanted to let everybody know that. I'm sure I'll do some live videos or some sourcing videos from Madison. I'm sure I'll do a video with Primetime as well. So that should be a lot of fun. Really, really looking forward to that. That's mid-August. I'm going the last part of the week for there. Well, they didn't have it last year, but otherwise they've gone every year for, 15, 18 years, something other like that. But going back to what he was saying over there with, not that comment, but the other comment there about the more you learn, I actually have a budget for going to Madison every year. Well, I didn't go last year. So what I ended up doing is I took my budget and I stuck it aside in an envelope. And this year I have my usual budget and I have the budget from last year as well. Ooh. So I'm going with
powered up.
There you go.
Powered up.
Going with twice the budget that I have. And
you got the rolling cart, the shopping cart.
I do have a rolling cart. I've got the bags. I'm going to carry them around with me, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I look like a 84-year-old lady. All right. But it'll be interesting to see with the knowledge I have and with actually having 2 years worth of budget to be able to spend what I end up coming back with. Because usually I did keep track of my purchases and sales from 2019 when I went out there.
Oh, okay.
And I'm working off memory, but I think I spent $450, let's say.
Okay.
And I bought 150 items.
Oh, I bet $3.
$3 an item. And I sold up to now about $1,000 worth of stuff, and I sold about 100 items.
Okay.
Something rather like that. So
definitely worth it.
I made money on it, but I also at that point was going in with half the budget that I had.
Right.
So, and less knowledge, 2 years less knowledge. So it should be really, really interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that all works out.
Cool. JJ Deuce is in the house.
Hey.
I wanted to say Deuce. Like, Emmitt Smith was my favorite player.
I was waiting
double
for
Deuce, double Deuce, baby.
I wanted to, Matt, keep on that for 1 second there. You may notice when this video goes up, if you go into the area where I describe what the video is about with the affiliate links and all that sort of thing, we also have a link to an interview. Do you remember the interview we did with JJ on his channel? Yes. Really good interview, a lot of fun. He's got a channel. Do check him out. He's been a friend of the channel for a long time. He's purchased from both of us.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun talking to him. You will find a link there once this posts on regular YouTube. We should get together
again, a little refresher for Discogs.
Oh, that's true. Actually, if you could reach out to us, we're going to be having Mr. Magazine start listing on Discogs. So we are going to want a couple of tips on how to do that a little better as well. So there we go.
Absolutely, for sure.
There we go. But do check his channel out. We had a lot of fun in that interview.
Very cool. What we got going on?
A lot build up. Yep. Bundle
Yeah.
more stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That gets to be a tough.
I hate lots and bundles, but sometimes you
you
gotta
have
do
to
it.
do
You
it.
gotta
Yeah,
do it.
that's what it comes down to.
For sure.
Oh, one other quick note. Were you aware that there's a lot of misinformation going on out there, but there's some truth to the misinformation. Are you aware that in August, the postage rates are going up?
Yes. Everything or just the stamps?
Well, in between what you just said.
Okay. Lovely.
Stamps and flats are going up, which, as we said before, we use the forever stamp, so that's not going to affect us there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't send anything out flat, so that's not going to affect us there. Priority staying the same. Express, which we usually don't use, that's staying the same.
Yeah.
The first class package is staying the same.
Okay.
Media mail, however, is going up.
Wow. Okay.
And I think it's going up from $2.89 to $3.19 for a pound or something like that.
Rightly so, because that's where they're probably losing the most money with people sending stuff out the wrong way that way to save a few bucks. So
can I check a box that I attest this can go media mail and pay the old rates? I'm not ripping them off.
No shot. No refund there.
I'm not ripping them off.
Don, actually, I'm paying Dom to take him away from me. I need a break as well. So
we're going to get into the main topic in just a minute. One last thing I wanted to say, and you know this because you heard me mention it yesterday.
That this is an AARP meeting?
Hey, just in time. There's our leader there, Mike. Radio Pirates. Shout out to you. So you list in magazines and the item specifics. And I mentioned last week that they have a 300 character spot for magazine title as far as the item specifics area.
Right.
So you go in there and you list, we'll just say Sports Illustrated. So you list, March 8th, 1972, Sports Illustrated, Lou Alcindor, blah, blah, blah. I guess it would have been Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at that point, but whatever you list. Yeah. You list it there. You go down to the item specifics area, and it has recommended. And it will actually pre-fill those for you. It'll say, we have filled in for you 1972, March. The genre would be sports.
Right.
Sports Illustrated would be the title. Hey, great. All taken care of. I don't have to fill in my title. Not so quickly. There actually are two spots for title. There's the 300 character title, and there's a shorter, older title down below. It fills it in the one that's not required. Isn't that nice of them?
You think they'll ever fix it? Jeez.
So just letting you know that, at least for me, they're filling in one of the two, and it's not the one that I have to have filled in. So that's wonderful.
Oh, jeez.
My fiance used to get me nervous where I would spend $100 at a sale. Now it's not usual. So 500 or more, and he just smiles. He knows I'm going to make a lot of money.
Exactly.
And that's what it comes down to. And I think all of us were that way at one point. And $100 was a huge investment in stuff. And oh my gosh, what happened if I lose it?
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, so we'll set up the account next week. Does that sound good? Next Monday, and then we'll be good to go, and we'll pick your brain a little bit.
Yep, sounds good on that part. All right, we're gonna head on into the and that's one of those things. Like I mentioned last or in a prior video, if you've got the business PayPal, which most sellers do, you can jump over there and you can print mailing labels out on there. So it's, I think, the third or fourth one over. It says print shipping labels.
Right.
And if you click on there, you actually can still purchase media mail that way. And do you have any idea, because I do not, if the post office has fixed its problem that they had for about 3 or 4 years with international?
What's that?
Where you couldn't print, this function is temporarily unavailable for first class shipping. And they try to make you use priority on everything. I don't know if you remember that or not.
No, it was a while ago. They're still an issue?
I don't know if they have or not. But if you do run into that, if you do use the post office for shipping and you do run into that, you can ship internationally off of those links, off of PayPal as well. So just to let you know. So the main thing I want to talk about today is passion. So let me ask you about your business. What is your passion in the business?
I honestly, it's a great, fun working environment, friends and family. So I do like that there. I look forward to seeing everyone every day because we joke around and have fun. but I love the big buys. I love the big scores. I mean, I get an adrenaline rush. Once you see something and, I get anxious. I want to, I just want to dive right into it, work a deal out quickly and load up the truck and start listing it, and I don't care if there's no room. Everyone thinks I'm nuts at the warehouse. Like, you don't have room for this stuff, and I just loaded 2 truckloads full, and guess what? We always make the room. But yeah, I just, whether I'm driving 2 miles or 200 miles or 2,000 miles, I love the thrill for the big buys.
Why isn't it like listing $7 postcards and then packing them?
Well, I just scolded one of my employees. I go, you're listing $20 sports cards when you got $50 ones here. Passing them along. You got to do the better ones. Come on, spending a lot of money here. Just
well, my argument against you from his standpoint would be they all have to get listed at some point anyway.
Very true. Very true.
Except they really don't. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
They really don't. And it's actually funny because we do not prep the show beforehand as far as the general topic. But I wrote
sometimes, or I'll forget it.
But I wrote in here, what does Mr. Magazine find in his passion? Buying. And that was my guess, was that you were going to say buying.
Sure.
And I wanted to bring up something other, and I know I mentioned this to you as well recently. My day job years ago had an exercise. And they were telling us, they were stressing customer service, all that kind of thing. I believe one of those crazy things that the big corporations in the state as a big corporation come up with, they were stressing wow service. And I forget what wow stood for. It was whatever, which one of those, we all rolled our eyes when they said it type deal. But one of the things that they said, which is absolutely true, is when you answer your phone, now this was back in the days of the phone before Zoom and all that stuff, people, your customer can hear you smile. And if you think about that, that is absolutely true. You can tell if somebody answers the phone like,
true.
Hey, what's up? Or, oh, hey, how you doing? You can definitely tell the difference.
Right.
And that smile is the passion.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to is.
Well, I think they got to get rid of the caller ID then.
Nobody ever answers the phone for me happy. It's weird. I'm like, what do you want? What are you calling me?
Exactly.
I thought I had your number blocked. But that's, for a long time, eBay was just there for me.
Yeah.
eBay was just, I was going through the motions. I really was. For a couple of years, I was going through the motions. I was getting the stuff. I was going to the flea markets, spending $75. You come back, you list the stuff.
Yeah.
You'd get occasional bursts of happiness and of passion. Like, oh, I want to get these listed. These are really, really cool. But when you get down to it, when you're into the mundane, how excited can I get about, picking up 3 True magazines from the 1960s for $1 a piece? I mean, they're going to sell for $20 a piece. Yeah. But how excited am I going to get about
we've seen a lot, and we haven't seen it all, but we've seen a lot of it all, good or bad, so that's part of it too. It's the same stuff. So,
Yeah, time after time. And it was really going through the motions. I'd have occasional positives and occasional, oh, this is great. This is great.
Yeah.
My sales were suffering. It was just, I was really sleepwalking through eBay. My listings weren't good, et cetera, et cetera. And it was more a chore than it was anything else.
Right.
And to be quite honest with you, I went to eBay Open in 2019. And I came back from that and I was energized, and it was almost like a light switch came on, and I had the passion back. I had that back. Yeah. And I was listing. When I got back, I said, I've got to list better. I've got to do this better. I got to do that better. Yeah. One of the things that they said at eBay Open was that you should have two or more pictures on everything. Right after that, I started putting the table of contents up. Yeah. And so on and so on. And I rediscovered that passion. It was reignited. My sales have gone up drastically since then. Yeah. And it could be that my buyers are, believe, as crazy as it sounds, but they're hearing the smile in my voice. Right. I'm putting more effort into listing, and I'm taking the time to list properly, and I'm taking the time to showcase the items, because it isn't just, hey, here, I got this magazine. Do you want to buy it? Right. It's more, hey, you might be interested in this magazine because, and I'm excited about it. And and part of it might be that I've also, unless the price is absolutely right, I really am going out of my way not to buy the mundane. Right. Because again, my ultimate example all the time is always car magazines. You're a car guy. Yeah. I'm not a car guy at all.
Yeah.
You might get excited. You sit there and you read some 1970s magazine about a Lamborghini. You might enjoy reading that, and that might excite you a little bit.
Yeah.
To me, it's a car.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
In fact, I get upset about that because I go, how do you spell Lamborghini? Because I got to keep looking at how to spell
I like to dream. You're looking at the Honus Wagner, you want that. I'll look at a Lamborghini and like, I want to make enough money to buy that someday.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when I'm listing the car magazines, it's like, oh, what's a Lamborghini? How do you spell that? Whatever. Right. And there's no passion for me for them.
Yeah.
Whereas you get into some of these bizarre and odd magazines from the 1800s and early 1900s, I really enjoy those. And I end up reading half of them, and I just really get into them. Mm-hmm. And I think that shows through my listings.
How about when I called you, was it today or yesterday? I was so proud of myself with that magazine that I took off eBay and put on Amazon.
Oh, what was it again?
So it was we're taking old eBay adult stuff off and putting it on Amazon, and someone made me an offer. Yeah, someone made me an offer of $10, and it's been in my store for 7 years. It was a Bo Derek foreign Playboy. I think it was from Italy, from like the 70s or 80s, like right after the movie 10. And I'm like, I'm only asking $15 for 7 years. No one wanted this. Now I'm getting a $10 offer. I go, it's better than that. So I declined it. I ended it. Put it on. Told my manager that list on Amazon. I go, put this on for $50. It sold in 1 day for $50 on Amazon. And I was like, and I called the paperwork. I'm like proud of myself. I'm like, I must know something.
You should be.
But it was only $50. But in the grand scheme of things,
that's definitely it. And it's just, I guess one thing that one thing that I do not like about car magazines, those are a chore for me.
Yeah.
And what I tell people on things like that is, I've already got a job. I don't want another job.
Right. Sure.
And I've used that expression a lot of times when I'm going to buy things and they're trying to push something at me at a, if I could have a chance to buy 1950s car magazines for $1 a piece, that's a good deal. I can make money on it.
Sure.
I don't want to buy it. And I'm going to tell the person that's a very fair deal. It's very, very fair.
Right.
I really don't want them. And I will tell them I've already got a job. I do not want those. Those are a job.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they lowered the price to 50 cents. And I guess I bought myself a job at that point.
Right. I'll lowball them purposely because I don't want it. And they'll still say yes.
A lot of times you end up getting that.
Yeah.
But I'd be more than willing to pay $2 or $3 a piece for like 1930s Look magazines or Click magazines, things like that, because I absolutely love those. Those are so much fun to look through, so much fun to list. But it comes through, and if you enjoy what you're doing, people will definitely notice it. And then I ran into a little bit of a problem about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
The passion was kind of dissipating a little bit for eBay. And I sat back and I said, whoa, what is going on? What is going on? I've got a lot of stuff that I should enjoy listing.
Yeah.
And it's just not there. And suddenly I realized what it was. Do you have any idea what it was?
You had COVID.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. That was 2 months ago. Yeah. Good.
You got that right.
You did get that right.
There's no wrong answer.
All right. You threw me there. That was not where I was going.
It was right around that time a month ago.
Probably
That's
was.
all I'm thinking, COVID.
Maybe that was. But you know what it is?
What?
Do you know what my passion is right now? Honestly, truly, 100%. You don't want to see my stick figures.
Oh, well, buying art and selling art.
This channel.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah.
Honestly, it's this channel. And I sat back and this came to me Monday. This Monday, it came to me that I'm focusing it on this channel. And I hope, and I know you're doing a lot with the channel as well. And we have a lot of really good ideas. We bounce things off each other. And I hope that it's coming through to everybody out there, that the passion that we have for this channel. And I'm still going to try to keep the passion going on eBay. But it really is the channel now that I'm focused on, because
it's definitely more fun. Absolutely.
Well, and I think part of it as well is eBay is a known entity. I know what I can sell on eBay. I know what I can make on eBay. I know this, I know that. I don't know where the channel can go.
Yeah.
And it's exciting and it's fun.
Sure.
And I'm also having fun with the Vivs-Views and the $1 million peddlers postcards. I'm having a lot of fun with those because those are old school listings.
Yeah.
Quick boom, list, boom, list, boom, list, boom, list. Yeah. And it's kind of fun. Say, hey, how many items until I bump up against eBay's levels, of course, but how many items can I get listed? How quickly I get these listed with, good pictures and all that kind of stuff. And then even Etsy's, even though I haven't sold anything yet, it's fun because it's a whole new world. I don't know what sells there. I don't know what's good there. Yeah. So it's like I'm exploring Etsy to see, what's going to sell? What's going to be the first item that sells? Right. I'm like excited every morning. Did I sell something? Did anybody, And it's kind of weird the way that Etsy presents things. You can see how many people visit your booth. You can see how many people, I don't know if it's called liked or whatever it is, your item and all this kind of stuff. But it's, I had so many visits yesterday. I had this. I had that. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So I've got the passion in a lot of different ways instead of just on Paperboy. Right. So it's fun, but I think a lot of people could tell that right after I got back from Open, really it was like a switch went on.
Cool. Yeah.
So good. Yeah, it's very, very good. And I think you're going to have the same thing too. I think that when you get the warehouse cleaned out, I think suddenly, some deal is going to come in. You're going, let's get this listed. Because part of the problem that you end up having is you get bogged down in these deals sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, I know you were super passionate for the what do you call it deal? The Ohio deal. Yeah. You were super passionate for that deal.
Yeah.
How much of the stuff is getting listed at this point? Probably a box here or a box there.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, really, we are the $20 monster mags. We're getting listed regularly now, which you're selling. But a lot of the higher end stuff I've been sending out, like I said, we got 400 comics and magazines getting graded. So
see, and that almost delays it too for you because if you take how many comics and magazines do you send out at a time to get graded?
I try to do 100.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like 50 comics, 50 magazines, like mix it up a little bit. Because you're going to get some lesser grades or some $50, $100 ones, but you might get some $500 or $1,000 ones even. So I like to get a good mix.
So how is the passion there when that box comes in?
Yeah, it's funny because the gentleman from the comic shop up the road I'm friends with, I let him do all the work. I pay him for his time to send them out because I don't want to deal with that, But he comes in, he shows me the receipt. He's got, with the grades, he has his hand covering it, so we don't know. Then he pulls them out one at a time.
See, so
it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Right there, yeah. I mean, and that's
and unlike the hit parade, they're all winners. So every time I'm looking at a graded one, they're all winners. I want to make money on everything. Where, I might not get the Mickey Man, I might lose $700, but be a quick thrill.
So for anybody who joined us late, next week, I see, like you segued into that. You're learning too. You got the passion too. You're learning to work this. There are 2 graded 1952 Topps baseball cards in here. I may be holding a $30,000 Mickey Mantle card here. We don't know. Yeah. We will know next week. So do join us next week.
Paul, you ready? You're going to watch next week? Make sure you get here early.
There you go. Yeah, I was going to mention, of course, they're going down right after we bought that.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, if we get a Mickey Mantle, that won't be going down.
That's true, too. I drive you nuts as a lister. I just sort of as closest.
No, see, that's what I want. Because everyone else has their scared piles. You won't have a scared pile. You'd be the #1 lister in no time.
That actually reminds me, I'm going to jot that down. I want to do a future thing on listing strategies. It'll probably be a studio show, but let me write that down and I will send it off to you tomorrow and you'll take care of it.
That's the smart way to do it, but in my world, it's not a perfect system. So.
See, and I do it, and I've mentioned before, I do it the exact opposite way. I list. My way of looking at it is if I pay $100 for 100 items, and I can get $100 out of 10 pieces of garbage out of it.
Yeah,
I did well. As opposed, and I can always sell that one good piece for $100 later.
Sure.
So I look at it the other way.
Yeah, for sure.
Change it sure was for me because it was all or nothing. Go for break.
I take chances all the time. Paperboy reminds me, I got some guts sometimes when I'm buying collections on the blind.
Yeah, and you definitely do that a lot more than I do. And I'm much more the slow and steady growth, and you're much more to take a chance. Hey, guess what time it is?
Rambling story of the week.
Indeed, it is.
And it's your turn.
It is my turn to give rambling story of the week. So you have heard my singing voice.
Oh, we all have. We've heard enough of it, to be honest with you.
Let's say that there probably aren't a lot of recording studios knocking down the doors to get me to sing for them.
Nope.
So my wife, the famous Viv, Mrs. Paperboy from Viv's-Views, the postcard site, she's Filipina. And anybody that knows anybody from the Philippines, they love their karaoke. Over there, they actually, if they have a party, in the Philippines, they'll go to the local village and rent a karaoke machine
Mm-hmm.
and set it up, and everybody will, at the party, they'll be having their fun, and everybody's always singing.
Right.
Most, if not all, Filipinos in America do have some sort of an app on their phone that they sing along to, or they've got a machine they sing along to, et cetera, et cetera. So they absolutely love singing, and there's a certain brand of karaoke machine that they have that what it'll do is you sing, and I'm not exactly sure how it works as far as, I think it's if you can keep pace with the song and all that kind of thing, it will rate your score.
Oh, nice.
And so you sing, and of course I've tried to sing, I've done the, as everybody has done, thinking you can belt out a song, making love out of nothing at all. And are you okay? You look,
yeah.
Like, oh, I really nailed it. And you look up and you got a 42, that kind of deal. And it's 1 out of 100. And they're all there, and they all have their pet songs that they sing. They sing them all the time. Yeah. And they're all there singing, and 92, 94, 90, 98, or 97, whatever. And they're giving me a hard time. You should sing, you should sing, you should sing. And I go, I don't sing. Finally, I said, fine, I'll sing.
You got to sing a song that you're familiar with, though.
Yeah, right. And they sing all the time.
Right.
Well, are you familiar with the song Henry VIII by Herman's Hermits?
I'm pretty sure I am. I've definitely heard it. It sounds familiar.
I'm Henry VIII. I am. I'm Henry VIII.
Okay. Yeah.
It's more or less a spoken word song. So I went up there and I sang that song, and they're all laughing.
I can't believe they had that song.
That song was on there. I sang that song. I got a 98. I was the high score for the night. I sat down. Talk about mic drop. I sat down, and they're like, they were flabbergasted. They were upset all night long. They're all trying to beat my 98. And I'm like, when you got it, you got it.
Plus, there's probably a few broken windows in the house too. I'm sure.
Not on a spoken word song.
No.
So a little tip to anybody out there: if you ever find yourself in karaoke, find yourself a spoken word song and just kind of go with it, and you'll actually do better than you think that you will. Don't try to sing. Trust me, if you can't sing.
Yeah. Amen to Jesus. Don hit it right on the head. All my listers have a scared pile. They don't know what it is or how to list it or pricing or condition. So, and it just piles up, and all the easy stuff gets on, which I guess it's good, but it is what it is. We've dealt with it.
Yeah. And it's, I don't really have a scared pile. It's more my projects. That's what I've always called them. They're projects. And I try my best not to buy projects.
Right.
And a project is, I'll give you a perfect, and we'll be heading out of here in a couple minutes, but I'll give you a perfect example of a project that I avoided for a couple of different reasons. So I got a call from somebody or other, and I don't know how they got my phone number, but they called me and they say, I got some books for sale, whatever. And I went over to take a look at the books, and nothing too special in the books. Mm-hmm. And they said, I've got these other things over here for sale if you'd be interested.
Right.
And they were World War II era blueprints of a military base.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, but it's still an active military base.
Right.
And
frame them up, put them on your wall.
And I have no idea if I'm allowed to sell those. I have zero idea.
Active, I don't think you would.
I said,
maybe a gun broker. But,
so what am I going to offer this guy for? I'm going to get them, and they're too large to use the CZUR scanner with. So, and they're rolled up. So I've got to flatten them out. I've got to take the pictures using the camera. I don't really like listing that kind of stuff.
Right.
And the guy didn't care. He would have sold to me for whatever. And I said, no. And I gave him the name of, I think it was Cowan's auction house. I said, contact them. They would know if you could sell this or not. And they would sell it if you can sell it. Just contact them. This is better than selling to me.
Yeah.
Because again, leave out the fact that, I don't know if I'm legally allowed to sell it or not.
Right.
But the other side of it is, say the guy said to me, take them. I think he had 4 or 5 blueprints. Say he said to me, take them for $25.
Sure.
It's a project. It's a heck of a deal. Yeah. I absolutely guarantee you it's a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take that $25, hand it to him, take those things, and never, ever, ever list them.
Right.
And so that's my version of the scared pile there is those kind of things. Yeah. All right. We're going to take one last look through the comments here and head on out. There you go. I'm Henry VIII. I am Henry VIII. And I even, and to let you know, I even went so far as to say Henry, because that's how they say it in the original song.
Very exciting.
Make myself list 3 items every day that I set aside or don't want to deal with.
There you go.
Yeah, the problem with something or other like that is like a day like today was super busy with things going on. I think I listed one item on eBay, so I didn't even make any quotas. Just get the frame and hang on your wall. Yeah. No, they were very, very cool. No doubt at all about that. But what are you gonna do? Hopefully the guy was able to find somebody to buy them, and nobody got hauled off to jail or anything for them. All righty, everybody. It was a good show. We had a lot of fun. Do join us next week. Well, do head over to Primetime. He's heading on shortly. And again, he's got Storage Auction Pirate. So that sounds like that should be a lot of fun. And we'll be seeing, or I'll be seeing him, month and a half, 2 months, something like that. So that should be even more fun. And everybody do tell your friends. One last promo for next week. 1952 Topps Graded Edition. There are 2 graded 1952 Topps cards in here. Could be high numbers, could be the Mickey Mantle, could be the Jackie Robinson. We don't know what is in here. You don't know what's in here. We're all going to find out next week live on the show. So definitely tell your friends. It'll be a lot of fun. It's a little different than what we usually do. We don't usually do unboxing, but it's just a lot of fun. And what the heck?
Impulse buying.
Oh, there you go. And you got the, well, see, but right there, tying back into the passion, you got the passion for the show as soon as you got them. Like, hey, we should do this on the show. You want to open them anyway.
Sure.
Let's do them on the show and let's everybody have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, we'll do it together.
There you go. All righty, everybody. Wish us luck next week and good luck to all of you this week. Oh, you know what I didn't do?
What?
I didn't tell people to hit the like button.
Oh, well, there you go.
Do hit the like button. Do appreciate everybody for coming on out, and we will see you next week.
Take care. Bye-bye.